My name is Flo and I am cycling across Africa, 13,000 kilometers from Cairo to Cape Town. Welcome back to Project Africa.
They're coming! This is so frustrating. I feel like in a video game, they keep coming out of nowhere.
After years of anticipation, we have officially begun the trip. 2 days ago, we left the capital of Cairo and rode into the Egyptian countryside.
Cairo to Cape Town, day one.
But less than 48 hours into the adventure, our bikes are confiscated and we find ourselves in a police van.
Don't know what's happening. We're in a police car with all our bikes.
I'm a bit concerned though because I feel like we will not be allowed to cycle and I don't want to return to Cairo and take the train down. Like, this is not in our plans.
Before explaining how we got here, let me introduce us. The team consists of Rob, who I'm cycling across Africa with, but also two special guests. This is Tim, a Dutch hitchhiker who spontaneously decided to join us after meeting us at the Sudanese embassy.
We met a traveler.
We have new friends now.
New friends, too.
And this is Sharif, aka the Snack King.
Living the snack life.
He's an Egyptian American who recently opened a bike shop and cafe in Cairo. We met him at a friend's birthday dinner and he also decided to join us for the first leg of the journey. And all together, we plan on cycling across the country along the beautiful Nile Valley. Except that there is one tiny obstacle: the police. You see, Egypt is famous among cyclists for being one of the worst countries to travel in. The police is notorious for making their lives difficult and preventing them from cycling. They claim that it is dangerous or unsafe, but if you dig a little bit, you understand the reality. Traditional tourism is a big source of income for the country, and if something goes wrong, it could make the news, and getting a bad rep in international media could be a disaster for the country and its economy. Now, Egypt being a military state, the authorities will do everything they can to upkeep the beautiful and positive image of the country and ensuring that foreigners have a good and safe time here. So the solution is simple. Keep a close eye on the foreigners, make sure they stick to the hotels and all the touristic sites. Nobody can deviate from this, even if it's legal. But as much as I'm interested in these world-famous landmarks, we want to have a raw experience, meet locals, see the real Egypt. So our plan A was to avoid the police as much as possible, lay low and take small country roads. And initially it worked. The first 2 days were amazing. We left Cairo after a send-off from friends, we cycled past the pyramid of Dahshur, found a small bar with a room to sleep in.
We're having a sleepover with the boys.
With the boys.
And cycled along the Nile past beautiful green fields and meeting tons of wonderful locals. But at the end of day 2, our plan failed. The police found us next to the pyramid of Meidum and forced us into their truck, and that possibly meant the end of our trip. They will try to stop us from cycling because no police officer wants to be responsible for us, as their own job could be on the line if something were to happen. So their solution is simple. Shift the responsibility on someone else. Get rid of us. Send us to a different part of the country. Put us on a train to Luxor or Aswan. But we will not let them stop us. So now it's time to move on to plan B. Embrace the police and keep cycling no matter what. We don't know this at the time, but this is the beginning of an epic 800-kilometer police chase across the length of Egypt.
Alright, so day 3 is off to a very bad start. I don't know if you can see them, but there's 2 cops basically that were waiting for us outside the hotel. That's not great news. So I'm just doubting the fact that we're going to be able to cycle.
The police officer prevents us from leaving the hotel. He calls his colleague and the two of them lead us to a nearby checkpoint.
As expected, the police are giving us a bit of a hard time.
I don't know what the situation is.
If they escort us, it's okay, as long as we're able to ride. I think the worst thing that could happen is that they send us back to Cairo or that they say that we have to take the train. So we're trying to negotiate with them, or actually Sharif is trying to talk to them, befriend them.
Cairo to Cape Town, day 3. We got some company today. We have a police escort with 4 new buddies. We came out of the hotel in the morning and they were just waiting for us. Sharif did his best to try and convince them that we don't need a pickup truck because we want to cycle. So now there's a little police car behind us and just following us. But hey, it could be worse. They could have told us to go back to Cairo and not cycle altogether. So I take it as a win.
So we're allowed to cycle for now, with an escort. And according to the plan, we just try to embrace it.
What are you doing? What was his ID?
That was so stupid. Yay!
Woo!
But to be honest, it's not fun. The experience is nothing compared to what we did yesterday and what we're looking for. We have to stick to the highways, we can't interact with any locals, we're not allowed to stop when we want. Plus, we wasted precious daytime this morning. Now the night is approaching and we're still far from arriving in Beni Suef, the next city, and the ride becomes stressful.
This is not the way that I expected my day to end today, but I guess we're just riding into the night, followed by flashing blue lights. Oh my gosh, so annoying. Just 2 seconds after I filmed that last clip, we got stopped by another police car and police patrol. What's happening with the police?
It's another group that's going to be following us.
Oh, they're just
we told them we're looking for Ben. They were like, Ben who? Like Ben Eastwest.
Been riding on this highway for like, I don't know, 45 minutes. We have 6 kilometers left. We've almost reached Beni Suef and I'm exhausted, honestly. Also, I really hate highways. It's very stressful, it's very loud. I don't like it at all.
Yeah?
I thought we were almost there, but no, we were stopped again by the police. I guess they're changing patrols or whatever. Oh, it's so annoying. I had good momentum. I was like, you know what, just 6 kilometers and I'm almost there. Just focus, just pedal, one foot in front of the other. Now we're stuck here.
This is going to be with us until we reach Sudan, so we need to get used to it.
We've arrived in Beni Suef. The police is still right behind us. Tim has been on the phone like this for the past hour. It's so funny. This whole situation is so funny.
Even as we check into the only hotel in town, the police follows us inside the building.
So we just put our stuff in the hotel and now they're following us to the restaurant.
It's horrible, man. There's no freedom.
No, they're actually following us with the car.
Egypt really is a police state.
Bikes packed. Escort acquired. Actually, we didn't acquire anything. They've been waiting for us here all night and all morning, which is kind of a horrible feeling. Our privacy is invaded. You feel like you're watched the whole time. You know, at first I'm hopeful that the police will be collaborative today. After all, they want us to have a good time in Egypt, right?
Hello.
Well, I quickly understand that we're not on the same page and that they're gonna be a problem.
This is what safety feels like.
So we decide to get going. We grab some fruits for the day.
The snacks start now.
You're the king of snacks.
And the famous breakfast dish, ftir. This is our trip, so we want to show them that we're on our time.
Having breakfast.
Living life, being safe.
And that the kids, who are simply curious about us, are more than welcome to come and talk to us. And that if we want to cycle, we're gonna cycle. And no highways. We're gonna take the small country roads instead.
Cairo to Cape Town, day 4. And it's starting to get really mentally exhausting. We're not even having to deal with it because Sharif is so selfless and kind and he's just been talking to them this whole time. Just the thought of them and the knowledge of them being behind us all the time, it's very annoying.
So annoying, dude.
After further attempts of stopping us and more waiting and talking on the phone, we have had enough.
We escaped the police. We have reached the Nile River. We found a tiny little road right next to it. There's no other cars. This is amazing.
The police said that this road has very dangerous animals and we can't go. That's the excuse because they can't go and follow us.
Wow! That's the Nile! Oh my gosh!
We cycle across the banana fields right next to the Nile. We see farmers on their way home with their animals. It is beautiful, we feel free. But of course only until we reach the road again, because somehow the police is waiting for us.
Yep, still following us on a motorcycle.
And remember how they didn't want us to interact with locals? Well, we don't care. We see a bunch of young Egyptians playing in a pitch and decide to join them.
Somehow, we ended up on a football pitch. The boys joined the game. Sharif and I are just enjoying a cup of tea with the policeman who's just here as well. It's amazing how football just brings so many people together, wherever you are in the world.
And while everyone is distracted, the police call for backup. Because playing football with Egyptian citizens, which by the way, their primary job should be to protect and serve them, is so dangerous for us, right?
We're just waiting for the train to pass.
We have a police car in front of us and a police car behind us. We really insisted. The guy was like, oh yeah, the car is here for you. And I was like, yeah, great, you can light us up, you can light our way. Oh, they've opened. Yalla.
And once again, we find ourselves riding at night with low visibility, but flashing blue lights, so much for our safety. It is only day 4 of cycling across Egypt, and we still have a long way to go. I really hope that this doesn't continue.
Good morning. This is where I slept last night. It's a very bright pink and red room. I'm losing my voice a little bit. Like, my voice is not, this is not my voice. I just checked my bike. It's absolutely filthy. And that's probably why my voice sounds like this as well. Because if my bike is dirty like this on the outside, I can't even imagine what I inhaled.
They don't want us to cycle at all, which is really annoying. They want us to go with them in the minivan for 80 kilometers to go to the next city, and they try to use whatever excuse to justify that. It's not safe because the road quality is not good, which doesn't matter. Our bikes are built for this. It's too tiring, and that we can get there in 1 hour if we take the car. That defeats the whole purpose of cycling. Like, we don't want to get there in an hour. Number 3 is that they have a girl with them in the group, which is me, and yesterday I was racing the police. I don't have words for that one.
We wait for 3 hours. We try to make use of this time to get snacks.
You got snacks?
We got snacks.
Yay!
To meet all the local kids and entertain them. To stock up on water so we're ready for the day. But meanwhile, the police was not in a rush at all and showed no sign of letting us leave anytime soon.
This is a joke. They're just like sipping tea over there while we're waiting. I'm so annoyed right now.
So I told them that we've had the patience for them for the past 3.5 hours. They have 5 more minutes to figure out the solution, or we just hop on the bike and they figure out the solution in the car.
And that's what we did.
They're coming.
Sharif is all the way in the back. Okay, so now we try to lose the cops by going past a construction site. Come on, Flo. Just think of not dying.
I feel like in a video game, they keep coming out of nowhere. Hello!
Racing against the cops.
This is hilarious. One was left behind. So now he's just cycling on Tim's bike and Tim's just running along.
This does seem kind of closed.
And all of a sudden I hear the sound of the talkie-walkie. I turn around and this dude was here. And there's like 2 more truckloads of cops behind us. This guy just keeps appearing out of nowhere.
They want us to take the train back to Cairo, which is not happening. We're going to be cycling all of Egypt. We'll find a way to do this.
No, we have to continue. No, we have to continue.
See, they're just an indecision most of the time and no one wants to take the responsibility. Just gotta take the initiative and just take the first step and then everything falls into place. Hello.
Hello.
Il a dit quoi?
You guys are making us tired.
The reason we insisted so much and kept on cycling was simple. This is what we came here to see. The mythical Nile Valley and its green fields that have fed people for millennia. The wonderful inhabitants who live here in peace.
I feel like I'm dreaming. What is this place? It's so green.
This part of the country is so underrated. No one comes here. Most kids have never seen foreigners before and are so curious to meet us. There might have been instability here in the past, but I believe that most Egyptians are well-intentioned, and it's not as dangerous as the police claims.
This is just magical. Wow. That's what happens when you take the scenic route that you can't access with the car, but you can with the bike.
We'd really be missing out on so much if we just took the train. And while some officers got tired of this silly game of cat and mouse with us foreigners, I think others seem to have enjoyed it and start to see the appeal of traveling by bicycle.
The guy in charge is supposed to be super irritated with us right now because we completely ditched him into the woods, into the farmland. He looks at me with a smile and he goes, "Khalas, you're friends with everybody now?"
We're back on the highway after a little slalom through the fields. It was so fun.
Cycling here on asphalt, this is like flying.
I know, and the sun is setting right there, and we have a police escort behind us.
We're about to reach Armenia. Entering into a new city means that we're entering into the hands of new policemen. In this case, we have like one car, one truckload of policemen. I can't talk. And this gentleman on the motorbike as well. Hello?
Good morning. Today we are taking a rest day. We slept at the YMCA hotel in Armenia. I didn't even know that there was one here. So now we want to step outside and explore the city a little bit. And of course, as soon as we step out of the hotel, we are greeted by a dozen policemen, a motorbike, and a huge van. For some reason, it makes everything more complicated. I never struggled this much to get into a taxi.
It's so much chaos just for nothing.
Oh my god. And the sirens are going off as well. This is embarrassing. Like, people must be thinking that we think that we're like super important people, but
And we need this.
we don't want this. We really don't.
Hey, I don't know about y'all, but I'm super important.
Wow. Look at this. Hello. Hi. We're on top of a cemetery right here, overlooking the whole city of Armenia, and it's just so many tombs. It's absolutely beautiful. It's so stunning.
One of the most interesting things I've ever seen, I think.
Everywhere you go, it's just you're followed by a bunch of kids. But it's nice. They have good intentions. Shukran. Shو اسمك? بدر. شرفنا. This place is a maze. But thankfully I've got all the kids to show me around because it's their playground, so it's actually really helpful.
It's not a graveyard like you would expect it to be. Christians and Muslims buried on the same place, which makes it more special.
I think this is the prettiest sunset I've ever seen. Like, in terms of the location,
Oh
and
man.
the setting, and the weather. The fact that there's no one else around apart from some random kids that are just playing. Oh, it's so nice. It is the end of the day. We got koshari to take away, and we got a little friend here escorting us back. You know what, guys? He asked me if I'm Egyptian. That is the biggest honor. That means that my Arabic is improving. Yay! Going home with the friends. Police escort. What is my life? Today is Cairo to Cape Town day 7. We have a bunch of new buddies today with us. We have a minivan full of policemen. We have a motorcycle as well. Today Sharif told them that we're leaving at 10 o'clock and that we're taking this route, we're going this way. You guys figure out how we can do it. Like, if you want to come with us, you can come with us, but we're not waiting for you. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Alright, ready to leave. Mr. Policeman went to the bathroom and we're ready to go. Yalla! Let's go! Yalla! This is so funny.
Let's do this.
So many fruits. We gotta stop later and get some. That's the train that we didn't take. These are the roads we want to take. We want to go through little towns and villages and not just on a straight highway all day with lots of cars and pollution. I like them. The sirens are so unnecessary. There's not a single car in front of us.
It's so nice because the second we step off of the main highway and the big roads with lots of cars, we're greeted with so many beautiful green fields. Woo! Egypt is stunning. And today's a beautiful day. The weather is perfect. Yeah, it's day 7. I can't believe it's already day 7. I feel like we've already been on the road for weeks because we lived so much in just such a short amount of time.
For a moment, I feel like there's a possibility that we'll actually be able to do this. Finally, there is hope. Until there isn't anymore.
They almost got us into an accident and put us in danger to get backup. As if we need even more cops. Like, there's no one on the street, there's not a single car. The only things that are crossing us on this path are horses and donkeys. Now they're stopping us because we took a small country road. It's not even that much of a country road. It's actually a really good road, but they don't want us to take this road because they would rather get to the destination quicker. What happened?
So the FBI just called me and they told us that it's illegal what we're doing. So we either have to jump in the truck and the train or get arrested.
The FBI? The Egyptian FBI.
The Egyptian FBI. Do you want to say anything?
It's just so frustrating. Why can't they just cooperate with us? If it's not safe, why can't they just come with us and make it safe? It's ridiculous. They're the ones that are creating the problem. Like, they're the ones who are making it dangerous because they're attracting so much attention everywhere we go. Like, usually people don't even, all they say is like, hi, like, hello, welcome to Egypt. But because of them, we have 2 busloads of policemen and a guy on a motorbike ringing his siren. Like, obviously it's gonna be less safe, and obviously everywhere we go there's gonna be lots of kids. And look at this road, there's nothing except donkeys and horses. I know that they're only doing their job, like they got orders from above. I told the guy, like, through Google Translate, they are ruining our experience. Like, we had such a good time in Egypt and I spoke so well of Egypt and Egyptians, and they are the ones that are ruining this trip. And I told him that, and he just looked at me like he can't do anything about it because it comes from above, and it's so frustrating because there's nothing we can do. They just have to follow orders. It's really annoying.
Welcome to the police state, guys. That's how it rolls here, unfortunately.
I feel totally defeated. Does this mean that we have to take the train now? We wait here for over 2 hours, and luckily we have Sharif, who continues to fight for us and negotiate with the superiors to let us cycle.
I talked to enough people to get us to the point where we can ride to the next town, but they're saying that we have to take the normal route versus the farm route.
We're back on the road. I called both the British and the French consulate, and they all said, what? You're on a bike? You don't need a permit. You don't need a permit if you're on a motorized vehicle, like a car or a motorbike or something. Sharif managed to convince them to just continue riding, but unfortunately we're on the main road. There's so much dust and pollution, and it's very, very uncomfortable. I've been coughing for the past couple days because of this. So I'm putting my mask on now. I want to experiment and see how dirty it gets and see how much of this dirt and dust I would have inhaled. And once again, we find ourselves on the highway at sunset, riding into the night. All because of them, all because the police stopped us for 2 hours because they didn't want to do this and they didn't want to cooperate. I thought today was the day. I thought today was the day where we can leave early, get there before sunset, and have a good night's rest. We made it to the hotel.
They're here for our security.
From now on, things go downhill for me. I don't sleep and wake up with a fever, but another rest day is not really an option. And today we have 80 kilometers to the next city. 80 kilometers on the dirty, dusty, loud highway.
Tired of Cape Town, day 8. I am all covered up today. I slept horribly. My lungs are on fire. I have a sore throat.
And so many checkpoints.
We're just crossing to another governorate. That means that Sharif is back on the phone, talking to all of the superiors because no one understands.
It's like we have to start over every single time. Yes, we want to cycle. No, it's not illegal. No, we don't want to take the train. Fine, you can escort us. And all I want is to be somewhere quiet and rest.
I've had non-stop goosebumps for the past 5 minutes, and it's not a good sign because I'm sweating and I'm really hot at the same time. We're just waiting for the police to sort things out so that we can continue, and all this noise and pollution is not helping at all.
I start to feel very weak. My whole body aches, my throat is on fire, and I have a fever. I want to give up many times, but somehow I keep going. And once again, because of the holdups, we reach Asyut at night.
We made it to Asyut, finally!
It's the busiest and most chaotic city we've entered so far, and now I am physically and mentally exhausted.
I just made it to my hotel room, and I feel disgusting. Like my hair is crispy. This thing right here, this buff, I've been wearing it all day. Because the police don't like going on country roads because it's annoying for them, we have to take the highway. And I think this is exactly why I'm sick. It's because I've been inhaling so much pollution. So today I've been just wearing this buff all day. It kind of helped, but I know for a fact that it's very, very dirty because it already smells really bad. Now that I'm in my hotel room, I'd want to give it a wash and just see how disgusting it is and how much bad stuff I was inhaling. So I'm just gonna give it a wash now and see. Ew, can you see this? Now it's time to wash my face.
And this is how we end week 1 of Project Africa. It started on a really high note, and at moments we had a lot of fun with the whole police chase, but now I'm exhausted and frustrated and sick. Road pollution and waste management are a serious problem in this country. Now, since we're traveling by road, it affects us cyclists a lot more than other tourists.
It's that time of day again, burning garbage all around us. Oh my god, I just saw a dead sheep on the side. Oh, it smells so bad.
We saw this sad reality since the first day, and it's alarming because it's seriously affecting the health of millions.
There's no environmental regulation in this country, which means that God knows what chemicals and things they're releasing into the air. I don't know how you can live like this.
And you know, there is so much potential here. This part of the country is truly beautiful and worth preserving.
Egypt could be cycling heaven, I swear. If only the government built a long cycling track from north to south of Egypt along the Nile River. There's so much potential. You could build fancy, luxurious campsites, but also have spaces for people to camp. You could do restaurants. There's so much potential, man. And before anyone watching this says, you guys are foreign. Oh my god, there's another 2 dead dogs on the side of the road. You guys are foreigners, you should follow the rules of the country you're visiting. If Egypt really wants more tourists to come into the country, they need to make lives easy for foreigners and for even Egyptians cycling. I know it's not in the culture to cycle, but this mode of transportation is one of the best ways to explore the country. I know for a fact that a lot of people are gonna start cycling and a lot more people are gonna be visiting countries by cycling. So why not make the most of it, you know?
And this is why Sharif fought so hard and with so much patience with all the policemen to let us cycle.
Bless Sharif, he's just been taking all the pressure off from the police. Super grateful.
Yes, he's here to support us as a friend and join us on an epic adventure, but the truth is that this is also about the future of Egypt, about the future of tourism, of this sport. As someone who loves his country and biking, the government's development plans are concerning for him.
They're looking to develop both sides of the Nile, like from Cairo down to technically Upper Egypt. So doing this right now is really nice because you kind of get to see it before it all goes down. While it's still kind of clear.
Because of the authorities, we almost didn't get to see this entire part of the country and would have missed out on beautiful experiences, so I'm happy we pushed on and made it this far. When I criticize the police, I'm not talking about the individuals who spent the past week escorting us. I'm criticizing all the officers that are invisible, sitting in their office and handing out orders over the phone without any clue of what's happening on the ground, thereby wasting our time and that of the policemen who have to deal with us, those who for the most part are friendly guys.
Ultimately, I understand that they're doing their job, you know. They have orders from above saying that we shouldn't cycle. And the funny thing is that we're trying to tell these policemen, like, if you want to come for our safety, we also want to be safe, obviously. So let's cooperate, let's find a middle ground. And the policeman was like, you know, if I had a bike, I would come with you on a bike. It's just a matter of orders and rules coming from the top that's really annoying.
And as frustrating as they were, I have to admit that we also gave them a bit of a rough time at work. And I have to give them some credit. They have unbelievable pursuit skills. And without them, this week wouldn't have been as memorable as it has been. What makes an adventure great really is the company. Rob, Tim, Sharif, the 4 of us really bonded over this intense week, both on and off the bike. So many moments weren't recorded, but we'll remember them forever.
Like today, I got off the phone with the guy and he was just like, you are absolutely not going anywhere. You can't just take these guys anywhere to breakfast. I was just like, what do you mean I can't take them to breakfast? He's like, I'm coming down there right now. I'm going to bring you breakfast. I was like, great. I hung up the phone with him. I looked at the other guy and I was like, let's go.
Sharif, for instance, always handed out snacks to all of us when we most needed them and expected them the least. Even the one that Tim missed.
Thank you.
Now the journey continues, and as we cycle south, the police will continue to follow us and not show any signs of leaving us alone. And we'll get to that soon. But today, our beloved Snack King has to go back to his duties in Cairo.
Be safe, don't stress it too much. Just live in the moment. Deal with the moment as it comes. Hopefully I can join you guys a little bit later on down the road. Maybe not Egypt, but maybe another country. Grateful for y'all. Love you.
After a final hand from the cops,
My tripod. I'm using them for the last time.
it was finally time to say goodbye.
Thank you for everything. Really. It's been truly amazing. Sharif, we're gonna miss you.
Miss you. Miss you.
Yeah, that's it. Now we're on our own. So stay tuned for next week. I don't know how we're gonna do it without him.